Hello, I'm IBXToyCat, and Minecraft Xbox 360 Edition is quickly becoming Minecraft Console Edition, with 4 new editions coming out in the next few months. It really is a tricky one to decide which one to buy. So I figured I'd do a quick buyer's guide, talk about each console in detail a little bit based on the hardware, what we can imagine it'll be like. Obviously we don't know all the details, but we have a pretty decent estimate based on the hardware, like on whether it'll be more or less powerful than the 360 and, you know, compared to each other. And then basically I can tell you which one is the best one to buy for your specific needs or whatever. And also which one is the most powerful if you just want the best Minecraft console experience, because not everyone wants to play PC to get the up-to-date stuff, because the living room experience is a very good one. So let's quickly, we're going to start from the weakest end of the spectrum, and then move up to the basically the, you know, the most powerful slash the, you know, one that will look the best and stuff. And that's a tie-up between the PS4 and the Xbox One. I'll get into that later. But let's start with the weakest edition, which is going to be the PS Vita. So the PS Vita is a handheld console that is really powerful for a handheld console, but it is still a handheld console, and it's not quite as powerful as the current gen, consoles, which is the Xbox 360 and the PS3. So it's almost there, but it's not quite. So all I'd imagine they're doing with this to make it, you know, interesting is they're going to take out the multiplayer but keep everything else, and maybe turn down the draw distance a little bit, you know, turn it from like where it is now to a few blocks down to make it a little bit more runnable. So basically the idea of the PS Vita version is that you can play Minecraft, you know, on the bus, on the go, on your living, or, you know, not in your living room, but, you know, wherever you want to play it, without having to resort to the Pocket Edition, which is a lot less powerful. So you can keep all your features, you just can't play multiplayer, and you just have separate worlds and stuff. So that's basically the idea of this. It might be worth purchasing in addition to a next-gen console if you really, really do like Minecraft and you want the most powerful on-the-go experience. You want to be like, you know, just pull it out at work and be like, I'm going to play Minecraft for 2 hours even though I don't have access to a console. That's the idea here. It really makes the PS Vita a pretty viable console having Minecraft on there. So that's a pretty exciting thing. However, if it's going to be your primary edition, I think there's going to be some multiplayer issues, because obviously it doesn't have the same system of Wi-Fi and just instant connectivity. And it's not going to be as fun a, you know, a thing if you want to play with your friends and stuff. So fun things to play on the go, not best for your primary console. So next, we're going to cover the PS3. So the PS3 is very, very similarly powered to the Xbox 360. If you're wondering, rather than starting a console war, I will just quickly say the Xbox 360 is better for some games, the PS3 is better for others. The PS3 should, in theory, be better for all games. But basically there are some hardware differences. One of the big ones is I think the Xbox has more RAM because the PS3's is split into video RAM and to regular RAM. And that is a really big problem for Minecraft because the RAM is the limitation that basically made the world so small. So what they might do, there's two things they could do here. They could even make the worlds a tiny bit smaller, so maybe like 600 by 600 instead of 800 by 800. They might just lower the, you know, the amount that's in the thing at once. Or they might possibly take advantage of the cell architecture. Because if you're wondering, 4J have done a lot of development for PS3, and they might make it a tiny bit better. Might even be able to, you know, make the worlds bigger and infinite even almost. They could do something like that instead. It's hard to tell, but basically, not accounting for that, the features will be exactly the same. That's true for all the versions, by the way. The updates come out at the same time, and it's going to be pretty much that. It's just going to be a game, it's going to be roughly the same. It might have some differences, but they're not going to be major. It's not worth, you know, trading in your Xbox and getting a PS3 instead. That's just not what this is for. So, following that, we have the Xbox 360 edition. So that's the edition I've been playing for the last year and a half, and all the videos have come from. By the way, if you're curious, I do have like 1,000 Minecraft Xbox 360 videos to check out if you're curious about the console edition. But rather than self-promoting, let's quickly get into what the Xbox 360 has to offer. So, for the most part, it has achievements. It has, obviously, the updates are potentially going to come first, because usually Xbox games get updates a couple days before. They might try and time it to, you know, cancel that out, but usually that just sometimes happens, so that's something worth noting. So if updates are super, super important and the extra day that will only sometimes be there counts, then the Xbox 360 is the console for you. Other than that, it is mainly just the fact that it has the established player base. It already has 6 million, 7 million almost copies sold, so you're going to have a lot of people to play with, whereas the PS3 will take a few months to even get up to a couple million. So, you know, just for terms of player base, this is always going to be the big one, or at least for the next few years. The 360 will be dominant, at least. And yeah, that's why you might want the 360. If player base is important, then 360 is the way to go. So next, we're moving on to the Xbox One. So the Xbox One is a really interesting subject. At first we thought it might be more powerful, or at least roughly the same power as the PS4, but it seems from what we've seen so far, I'm going to do an in-depth video later when we have more information, but it actually seems that the Xbox One is lacking in power by like a good 30-40%. If you're wondering, games like COD Ghost only runs at 720, Battlefield only runs at 720, as well as quite a few other cross-platform games that run a lot better on PS4. So it's really interesting to see that they basically can't get it to be almost as good as Sony. So basically, to put that in perspective, if you'd be playing Minecraft on Xbox One and you'd have a version on PS4, the PS4 version would have a slightly better, draw distance, and you might be able to see stuff that's slightly further away, or it might have a bigger world by a slight fraction, but it's not going to be a massive difference. It's just going to be the game might look better. Or maybe the game will just run in a higher resolution on PS4. It's really hard to say. I think it's going to run on 1080p at both, but we can't say that 100% sure. So moving on to the final console, which is going to be the best looking one, the PS4. So the PS4 is probably going to look the best. It's hard to say how. It might have the best resolution, it might have the better draw distances, it might have the bigger worlds, but this will probably be the better hardware-wise version of the game. However, it's worth saying the PS4 online system, unless that is improved, the Xbox One might, edge ahead because it does have the servers, so it might have access. Like, they might have an exclusive deal with 4J to make like loads of cool online game modes, because they did say they're working on that a lot. So if that stuff interests you, you definitely might want to go with the Xbox One, because they're going to be doing lots of stuff with Microsoft to try and edge ahead of Sony there, because both editions are going to be popular. They want people to be like, oh, I'll buy an Xbox One for Minecraft. So they might do loads of multiplayer servers, like have Hunger Game servers for everyone to play, like have matchmaking almost, or something like that. They might do something really cool. They're keeping their cards really close to their chest right now, so it's hard to say. Keep up to date with the information. You can subscribe to my channel if you want to do that. And yeah, just basically all you want to be doing is keeping up to date with the Xbox One versus the PS4 Minecraft stuff, because there's a lot of cool stuff coming there. If you are getting an next-gen console already, just keep your on, don't switch it just for Minecraft. But if you want to buy one just for Minecraft, so far the PS4 looks like the better option, but I'm going with an Xbox One myself. So just in case you're curious right there, that's what I'm going with. That's what I would kind of recommend a PS4 right now because it's cheaper, but if you want an Xbox One anyway, then get an Xbox One. So that's been my overall breakdown / buyer's guide for Minecraft Console Edition, which one you should buy. I hope it helps you out. If it does, please do like the video and share it and let other people know, because that would be appreciated. Other than that, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, check out the two videos on the screen right now, and goodbye.